Yo, I'm joined by my good friend in Tarun, all the way down there in Texas, right, man?
Yep, I'm in Frisco, Texas.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's talk about it. How was this job hunt for you, bro?
Painful. Yeah, because this is my second time with Product Gym, right? So the first time I got a job back in 2021, and the experience was way more smoother, way more faster in comparison to this brutal market right now. The process, the principles were the same, like keep on applying, but you get the results like of your hard work quickly. So you get those results and you feel like satisfaction, okay, something is happening. But this time I started applying since like November. So November, December, not so 2 months completely nothing. And January, then like mid of January, it started to kick in. And then all of a sudden it's just the same. Like yeah, round one, round two, round three. Still I'm like giving interviews or like final stages of interviews, got one verbal offer. But yeah, like on a weekly basis, I'm still giving like 3 to 4 interviews. So yeah.
Got it, man. Um, yeah. What do you think finally changed? Was it just giving it enough time or the portfolio or just kind of letting, I don't know, chilling a little bit and just kind of letting the universe take
No,
its course?
I I think yeah, like showing up to the coaching calls and getting experiences from other members like who got job recently and like knowing to like what tips and tricks work for them. I think understanding them and then applying the same to that. Meanwhile, just like so that definitely helped. Like applying constantly, obviously, you have to like play the numbers game, keep on applying, but like something obviously like having a portfolio, side projects, and having those conversations pitched in like round one or whenever you made it to like hiring managers or like other, it definitely helps. It acts as a differentiator. So like fill like all those filler talks and in between like when you're having, I just told like how's your weekend going, and similarly I picked up this from like Kylie. I think she also like on those filler talks like mentioned the stuff which they are doing, and that's what I'd help like try to pitch in something which I've been doing, and then that act as like a mode of communication. Okay, oh, this is interesting. How would you do that? And like, can you explain a bit more about this side project which you did, which tools you use? Even some of the hiring managers are also in their like AI learning phase. They want to understand like, okay, how far are you? So that connected. So a mix of all like, but numbers definitely keep on applying, hit those numbers. Definitely the conversion ratio is pretty bad right now, but yeah, yeah. But if you keep on applying, yeah, that'll happen. And then yeah, all this like side projects and then AI curriculum definitely, and then knowing to the insights of the alumni definitely helped.
Obviously you reached out to like a lot of people as I think as everybody should. I think it was like a very similar experience when I worked in recruiting. I actually would reach out to people like, hey, why are your candidates getting hired and stuff? What was probably your biggest takeaway from some of the advice one or maybe two big takeaways from I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago, probably like 2 weeks ago, you were feeling pretty shitty about your job hunt, right? And then now it's like you're here and you've seen it in a lot of the other testimonials, but what were probably some of big one or two takeaways that you were able to apply on the job hunt?
Yeah, the first is that don't give up. Like, cause and yeah, the thing is like I was like yeah, constantly feeling because that's when it heads. Like once you get like first round schedule, then it's all starts to like kick in. Okay, okay, now I'm like for example 500 applications and nothing is happening. But when I reach 800 applications, I have like 4 to 5 rounds of interview schedule, and some of them are like way ahead. Like when I'm like applied like month 1 month ago or something, they are reaching out to me. So it doesn't matter. Like, you feel bad, like, okay, 500 numbers, like applications, nothing is happening. You just keep on going. And that's what your calls have, like, have helped a lot. Like, wow, those definitely give some motivation, keep on going. And that helps. And suddenly from 500 to 1,000, I think I'm still on like count like 1,100 applications right now. But like definitely more improvement like post 500. And suddenly something kicked in, previous calls started to make sense, previous applications coming into picture. recruiters by themselves are reaching out to me on LinkedIn and such. So yeah, definitely if you're staying longer in the game, something's about to happen. Yeah. So just don't give up. Keep the consistency.
Got it, man. So for anybody that's even thinking about joining Product Gym or like hesitating about joining Product Gym, what would you have to say to those people?
Join in soon. I mean, these definitely help the mind blocks which you have, like, doubts or what will it be like happening. You see similar kind of circumstances, other people are happening, and then you see them getting offers, and then you see, oh yeah, I'm in the same spot and I can get an offer soon. Something is happening soon good with me. Just you can see the journey which you're going through, it's pretty similar with everyone else. And if they can get it, you can get it too.
I think that's the biggest thing is just how fast, this like how like honestly, probably like about 10 days ago, you were feeling pretty shitty about life. Probably feeling pretty hopeless, lifeless.
Exactly. And like, cause that's something is like, happens like, cause you're comparing it to like the earlier efforts when you got a job. And that's definitely not it. Like this market is really, really tough. The conversion ratio is really bad. You'll keep on getting rejections. Just don't like, that's I went into that mindset change. For every rejection, I'll double up my application. So, I went to that mindset and yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest takeaway is when I was working in recruiting, we saw it as a form of sales. There's a book, it's called Getting to the No, which is like if you're competing for the yes, at the end of the day, you felt actually really shitty because you didn't get that many yeses. But like in the book where it talks about getting to the no's, it's like, well, I can get 100 no's, I can get a 200 no's, right? So, like, if you actually focus on getting rejected more, and that is we can gamify that in a form of competition, like how many rejections did you get? That's actually how, like, I think the killer salespeople they actually get much bigger commissions and like I'd say they make much more money is because in the story it referenced, the guy I think in the story had to only sell three Xerox machines. Like, that was his quota, and then he would just call it a day. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got three Xerox machines sold. Like, I did my job." He's like, "Because that was the target, so you just hit the target." It's like, well, if you made the target, like I got to get 100 no's, so it doesn't matter like if you're getting a yes, you just go out there and just get the no's. He actually ended
Exactly.
up making so much more money because he was like, oh my gosh, I got like 20 yeses, but I'm at 81 no's. I still got to go ahead and get like another 19 more no's. And because of that, he actually ended up getting that many more deals. More of the story is it's a numbers game. I think we all have enough logic to know for ourselves that giving up, what does giving up even mean? Like,
Yeah,
you're like, look, it's like I think people that want to give up is like it's not an option. Like, so
true.
like what does that even mean, giving up, right? So another takeaway that I thought was really good is um that is actually a success strategy, which is like don't compare it to how easy it was. You gotta like just recognize it for what it is right now. In
Yeah.
those billionaire comeback stories, they always talk about like they're losing their business, they're losing money, they're losing employees, they're getting sued. Coincidentally, they're also going through a divorce. That's actually one of the success strategies they use is like you cannot compare yourself to like where you were. You got to just look at it like, okay, I'm making a little bit of progress. And then you got to look back at like where you were at more recently. Like, okay, well, I was doing better than I was last week. I was doing better than I was 2 weeks ago. And then from there, you build up. If you're looking at like, oh my gosh, last year, this time, I was at the Super Bowl. No, dude,
Yeah.
otherwise you would feel too depressed. So yeah, and I think the biggest takeaway is just seeing other people be successful and just hearing from other people because we're all like one cohort, like it's like a family here is like, yo, like I know that guy was feeling pretty shitty like just a week or a week and a half ago, and it turns around, you just know like, okay, my time is gonna go out there and come. Um this is what like Kaiser said in his testimonial. This is what Kel said in his testimonial. Like, yeah, it just sucks sometimes, but like you gotta just grind through it. So like it's just better to grind through it with other people. And then getting the portfolio up. We most recently talked about like the Google stack, you know. So I would say the last takeaway from this is like hopefully that you can take away from the community is like let's make sure this doesn't happen ever again. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
like
Definitely. It's a really painful process. I
yeah,
mean, you have like such thoughts in your mind. You feel like maybe even I'm worthy to getting like, something new or some like those kind of thoughts, like, sometimes occur when you're like getting constant rejection. So, that's definitely a painful process. And now I'm out of it. I'm feeling so relieved. And definitely I don't want to be like in this situation. So yeah, as you mentioned, just keep on upgrading and everything will be like, you'll be like the last to get laid off if you're like, providing some contribution or like, meaningful contribution to the company. So yeah, keep on upgrading your skills.
100%, man. And then I want to ask you just one more question here before we go ahead and wrap it up. And for you, going through the job hunting process on H1, I mean, like, it's even brutal right now for Americans, right? Like, I mean, explain to us the uncomfortableness.
No, for sure. That's why I'm saying the numbers are pretty large for me as well. So you need to think of that. I just thought of that myself. Like, conversion ratio is bad, but it's even bad for me because of the status, right? So I need to put in like more numbers, that's for sure. And that trick help like when you even in your curriculum you have like on your resume mention the status as well as on the call, like when you critique my resume, because what happened is like it's just like we are not wasting each other's time, and then the like the whenever the recruiters or first time it's happening, it's just like, oh, I saw like you're on visa and we do sponsor visa sponsorship, so it's pretty comfortable and easy from that point onwards. Like the first you don't have to like explain that you're on visa or what happens. Yeah, it's just everyone knows it's on the resume, and people who are sponsoring, they are only reaching out. So yeah, that's one of the great tip that you showed. Yeah.
Yo, man, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yo, let's make sure this never happens again. Never, ever, ever happens again. Let's make sure that it never happens again.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna
Yeah.
put you in a position. We're gonna really prop up that portfolio. We're gonna be annoying about it even after you have landed your job. But I really want the next job or like you're putting yourself in a position from here on out where the opportunities are coming to you instead of you having to constantly chase those opportunities at a very desperate time when it's just like you feel like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Right? Like we shouldn't, I think as people that are working in product management, regardless if they're on an H1 or not, they should be thinking about what they're trying to accomplish professionally in that year, not on the job, but like what do they want professionally? Because if you just work hard thinking that the company is going to take care of you, that's obviously not the truth. Like
Yeah.
you need to put yourself in a position where it's just, 2025 flew by for me. I think 2025 was the fastest moving year of my life. I feel like every year moves faster as I'm getting older, closer to the end. But like December 2026 is actually going to be here before we know it. So let's make sure that you don't stop coming to the coaching calls. You keep on putting up the portfolio projects because your next opportunities should be coming to you instead of you trying to go to them, chasing, trying to sell yourself. They don't know who you are. You want to have that brand.
Yeah, and that was like one of the toughest part, like in current market, like selling yourself and the tips and tricks you showed. I'd still yet to like I created my YouTube channel, but nothing posted. But I think my side projects and portfolio were pretty strong enough in terms of like conversation point of view as well. One like hiring manager just asked like basically what I did is like what I'm doing in my current project. I just used AI to mimic the same project, like the same work which I'm doing, and then published it. So my hiring manager is like, okay, like how much time did it took you? So I said like, yeah, in my current work, because I'm like used to like traditional working, It took me 6 months. In AI, I built out this as a passion project for like 7 days. And they were like, oh, okay, that's great. I'm also learning some of the tools. Can you show me? And yeah, and obviously the curriculum, the work which I did, the side projects, I was able to like conversate very healthily on like all those topics. And that kind of impressed the managers and the team.
Definitely. When like right now, we are all learning these skills because it's really like it's a war right now. Like it's talent against the machine, right? So all the skills that you are trying to learn, they are also trying to learn. Um, we pumped up a lot of curriculum recently, and we're getting ready to drop the Claude and the Claude cowork. It's very unfortunate. Companies are fully able to bring in somebody, honestly, from Google to train you guys on that. They are fully capable of flying out like a Claude consultant from, the actual headquarters to actually walk you guys through that, right? They're not even doing that like, Amazon's not even doing that for their own internal team. Because secretly, if they could do it without you, without an entire team, forget the individual, they could do it without an entire department, they freaking will. So the people that you're interviewing with too, they are also very scared about losing their
True.
jobs and they're also really overworked. I don't think people that are on the job feel that much better on a mental. I mean, obviously they have money coming in, but they also every hiring manager that we do the recruiting partnerships with, they always secretly ask, so how is the market going on out there? Because they also are worried that they're going to get let go too. So anytime that you can add value, but I know you were, I'm very proud of you. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Everybody had to go through a very big struggle. I could tell that you were trying to stay positive. But it was not easy to stay positive, but you fought through it, man, and you should be very proud of yourself. So the moral of the story is never again. You're
Yeah.
never gonna put ourselves in this situation again. The next batch of opportunity is gonna come to us. All right, man?
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Enjoy your week. You deserve it. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of you. I know there's because we're actually in a very uncertain time right now. It's very tough for America. It's a little less like H1 visa holders. But like there's no like giving up is just not an option. So
Yeah.
I love these stories. It fuels me to work that much harder for y'all because like I know how tough it is. Um my gosh. And I know how much you fought for this. Like, I really
Yeah,
did.
I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, but I think it was just like mindset change. Like up until 500, 600 applications, I was like feeling dejected. Nothing is happening or whatever. Once I got like one like round one schedule, and then quickly it started turning around like more and more calls. I felt confident, and that's what I had. Okay, this time maybe the conversion ratio is this much. You just have to play the math. Like this time you have to like in one of the calls as you mentioned, right? Like after 200 applications you're getting calls, so the conversion ratio is like maybe 200. So keep on applying 200 more, you'll get another call. And that's what like, happening. So, yeah, definitely. I totally agree. It's a numbers game. Just don't give up. Keep on applying. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same process. It'll happen.
It's a numbers game, bro. All right, man. I'm gonna let you get on with your night. I'm gonna talk to you really soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Last note, any American that thinks they have it, thinks they have it brutal, this is 500 times 500 times more brutal if you're on an H1 visa. It is beyond brutal. So if they can make it happen, we've actually just recently had a UK testimonial up. We had Kaiser's Canadian testimonial up. The UK testimonial is like amazing because like the time difference and everything. It's just like, don't give up, folks. Don't give up.